Yeah, I know you're not used to seeing me up here this early. I'm not up here usually this early. Heck, it's at least 30 minutes earlier than I get up. Tip. But I woke up early. Thought it would. I would just. Well, I've been spending time with the puppies. But anyhow, I'll go through and I'll throw the link on there in case anybody ever comes on here and would like to join. But let's see what else. Yeah, the puppies are kind of arguing a little bit. Well, they're playing with Nikki. They do that. Let's see here. This ought to get where I can. Oh, stop it, Nikki. Oh, what, Nikki? She ain't really the one doing it. It's hey, Des. Good to see you. Come on up if you can. It may be too early for you. It's usually. Well, I don't know. You have an earlier schedule than I do. Um, let's see. What was I doing? Oh yeah, trying to pin this. And hey, Des,
Good morning.
you doing all right today?
Yeah, I've already been out of the house. Had gone to get gas and some beef jerky and some corn chips.
Cool. Watched your live yesterday. Pretty much all of it.
It was
Um,
it was it was a wild one. It was a fun one.
I tell you what, you certainly got a whole lot of subscribers.
1,212, I think.
1,212. Wow. That I was actually thinking members. I said, I was talking about,
Oh, the yeah, the 99-cent membership.
yeah,
Yeah, between Kyle and Quint
yeah,
and their monthly because I don't have super chat or anything like that, so they're just buying the memberships.
that is
So
cool. That is cool.
yeah,
I mean, it's good. It feels good to have people that support you that way.
yeah, yeah, it
Uh,
is.
and it's very, very thoughtful.
I
Um,
agree.
Good people. But I got up this morning and I've been playing, I've been up, believe it or not, for like an hour and a half, which is totally unlike me. I don't normally get up at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I got up like 6:30, then went back to bed till like 8:30. We left the house, did some errands, came back because the gas station and Walmart is literally like a 5-10 minute ride up the street. So
Yeah.
on this, I call it my trash mart. So because it's on
Yeah.
we're on the poor side of town. So
Hey, Bud Files.
hey
Bud
Sue.
Files, you're welcome to come up too. Love to have you up here. I don't remember if I've ever had you on my panel or not. It's too early in the morning for me to think too hard.
I
Hey,
got did you get a text or a Facebook message from Eddie about the cook off, the Houston
maybe
cook off?
I got some on here. I just cut my phone on.
Yeah,
But I
yeah, it
I
just
didn't
came
get
in this
anything from
morning.
Eddie.
Yeah, it was about the Houston cook off, and it showed Uncle Steve and the tent, and they were getting interviewed and showing the barbecue and stuff like that. It was pretty cool.
I
I'll
believe it.
grab the link. I'll grab the link and I'll send it to you, Messenger.
Okay. Well, if you hadn't told me, I don't think I'd ever seen it. I don't. I mean, I do not use. Now, Rosemary, be quiet. And that's Rosemary was barking. Usually, it's Jeff.
Actually, I don't even have you on Facebook. Oh no, there you are. I got you.
Um. Well,
I I got you. Here it is. I'm pasting it.
okay.
Let me know if you just got it.
Well, I'll have to open up my Facebook. I don't typically.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't typically use Facebook.
I only use I go to Facebook, but I'm more of a messenger person.
Yeah.
I mean, I have my own page, but I and there's a lot of pictures of my thing. But I'm more like I'd rather talk to people through Messenger this way that are not on my phone. You know what I mean? Because I don't want everybody to have my phone number.
Okay.
You've got it, but I don't know how to send it to you from Facebook to there. So
Okay. That looks cool.
yeah, it was pretty cool. They showed the food. Uncle Steve was there.
I'll have to look at that later. I've got it pulled up. Hey, Scarface, how you doing?
Yeah, it's a short clip. It's not that bad. It's pretty cool.
All right. First you get the money, then you get the power, then you get the women. Something like that on Scarface. I don't remember the exact order. Something like that. Otis waits till I go, live, and then I don't know. Maybe he's saying he wants me to feed him.
Go ahead. Good morning, Scarface.
I'm just gonna throw some food in here.
Everybody's just waking up, getting their coffee.
Yeah. And normally I'd be, I'd still be in the bed at that now. But
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to the other dish. Oh, here it is. Tammy put it up. All right. I just put that
Hey, Jerry. Jerry just came in the door.
Who came in?
Jerry.
Oh, cool. Hey, Jerry, come on up, brother. Scarface, you want to come up too?
I got to send you and Jerry and Eddie and Jesse and Lisa all your shipping information. You kick the door in.
Hey, that works for me. Let's see. I'm not typically up this early, but hey, I've already watched the rest of the. Believe it or not, I was watching The Breakfast Club.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Okay, Jerry, you should be getting your package the 26th. Gary, also on the 26th.
What's on the 26th?
The package should be coming to both of you.
Okay, cool.
Did you send us?
I sent it yesterday. Regular mail. Regular mail. It's something I made for you to hang in your house somewhere.
Okay, that's fine.
I made it for you and your wives.
Okay, you made something. Okay, cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's cool. I just didn't know what it was. And I saw you email or text on the van of thing that you sent something. I was like, what? What do you mean she
and
sent
there's a little card inside the package too.
Cool.
Very cool.
Good morning, guys.
She didn't let me run in the race last night. Just because I have all her stickers.
That's right. You have my stickers. Other people don't have stickers.
Well, you could have.
I'm one of them. I only have 3 stickers left or 4 stickers left.
Well, it sounds like it's time to order some more stickers.
Yeah, eventually. And I'm stopping one of the stickers too, so I'm not going to be making any. Once I'm done with the one Peaceful Snowflake I have left, the other one I ran out of. So when I run out of the other one, that's it. I'm not doing the Peaceful Snowflake one anymore. It's just going to be the sunflower ones.
Okay, so you're not peaceful anymore?
Oh, I'm still peaceful. It's still Peaceful Des under the snowflake. I mean, under the sunflower.
I'm just picking with you a little bit.
I know.
How you doing this morning, Jerry?
I'm still waking up.
Still waking up. I thought with you being a farmer and everything, you'd get up with like the.
No. This farmer is a late farmer. I'm used to staying out till midnight, 1, 2 o'clock, and I like my mornings. I like sleeping in. Susan gets up at 6. I don't get up till after 8.
Hey, Tammy was still sleeping in today.
Well,
she ain't in bed now. She got up before me. In fact, I more or less woke up when Tammy came in to get Nikki, and that was like at 8 o'clock. She had been up for a while though. I don't know what she was doing, but she was doing something. She's always doing something. I think she was playing with the puppies for a while. Anyhow, for me, it's just a question. I got up and I looked and I didn't see anybody live streaming that, I usually hang out with. And so
This is the perfect time though, because if you're working tonight, you've got your live in.
well, I do have my lot. I do have a lot. This is on a different channel though. This is on my YouTube place. I'm actually working on my watch hours on it. I wasn't planning on monetizing it, but I figure, the money that is going in on my other channel, whatever's coming in is going towards the next meetup. And if I end up getting this and monetized, even if it's just fan funding, I guess I'll do that and do something like what you did with just a 99-cent membership, and to go through and apply that towards it as well. It won't be.
I think the 99 cent is good for people like me that are on disability. We want to help, but we can't afford to help you on the higher end. So,
Nikki is a decent babysitter. Only trouble is them dogs, they get to fussing at one another, and you get all three of them together.
They're sisters. They're yelling at each other.
Yeah, that makes sense. Although I only had one sister, and so we were always very, I guess maybe even a little overprotective of her. So,
yeah, me and my brother fought like crazy. I was the oldest, but he thought he was my dad.
Oh.
So, and we still fight to this day. We haven't talked in like 6 years. So, yeah.
Oh wow, I'm pretty close with my family. Jerry, you got brothers and sisters?
Yeah, 3 sisters.
Hi,
Are you
Templin.
very close with them, or hey, Templin?
I mean, one of them has epilepsy. She lives in a state-run home in California, and she doesn't remember anybody at all. So then my other one is just the youngest one's in Washington, where my folks used to live, and my other sister's in Illinois, which is on the other side of St. Louis.
Yeah, I wasn't raised with one brother. I went, hey, good morning.
The arm of Tammy.
Yeah, my half brother, not the one who thinks he's my dad, but the other one I wasn't raised with. My sister, who's like 13 years younger than me, my stepmother pretty much said, "Get out of the house. I don't want you around her. I don't like you," in so many words. So I wasn't really raised with her. I mean, we talk maybe once a year, if that. And my other brother, the one that thinks is my dad, is drunk half the time and disrespectful and does not understand. Stop! You're not my dad. You're my brother. So we just, we're not close at all.
Oh, that's interesting. Hey, I love and am still close with my kinfolk, my brothers and sisters. Although I'm,
Oh, you're good, baby.
Hey, AJ, go puppy. Yes,
Boy, they're getting big, aren't they?
AJ.
Yeah, Rosemary's is 2 pounds smaller than AJ.
Rosemary is absolutely adorable. I love her ears.
Funny thing is, I noticed her ears. They've been standing straight up this whole time. Now they're starting to, get a little bit of a dip.
They're getting a little relaxed.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it.
So
okay, Gary.
My mom used to put tape pennies on their ears to make them bend over.
Really?
Yeah, because in the show they're supposed to have bent ears. So
Okay.
a lot of people do
ears.
A lot of people would do it surgically, but she didn't like that. So she would just put tape a penny to the ear, would make it flop, the tip flop over, and that and after a while the ears will stay like that.
That's kind of like when a Great Dane gets their ears cropped. They put it right here and then they tape it to the cup.
I don't like that.
I don't like it either. I like them when they're floppy and cute.
Well, I like her, but she's watching you the whole time you're walking away. She obviously wants to go back with mom.
I see that.
Sorry.
Hey, Susan. And we got Tammy and Susan. Hey, Tammy and Susan, keep an eye for the mail. On the 26th, you're each getting a package and that coming to the house.
Okay.
Yes, you can.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, both of you.
Well, I mean, I guess here lately, the last few years, I'm feeling a little bit more estranged, but um, but I still am very close with my brothers. It's not unusual at all. I mean, I still love them both, and both my brothers and my sister. And but one of my brothers is very well. He tends to be very extreme. Um, he was extremely conservative for a long time, and now he's gone extremely liberal. So I've always just kind of been right down the middle. Um, but he's kind of goes to from one extreme to the other. And so, and in fact, you could probably, if you looked him up, um, you could probably find where he led the boycott of Disney because they, when he was the executive director of the AFA of Texas, and then now he's he's just gone about face or whatever.
Maybe he saw things he didn't like from one side and decided to go the other way. But there's, I mean, I'm kind of like I lean this way, but there's some things I like done this way. You know what I mean? So
yeah, me too. Me too.
I'm not so far this way, but I'm not. No way will I be so far that. You know what I mean? Well, maybe I'm so far left. I'm not so far left, and I'm not so far right. But I'm not in the middle either. I lean a little bit more to the left.
Let me read this real quick. It's a good thing, we're all close and get along. My mom has diagnosed with cancer a couple of weeks back, and we're all taking turns helping her get to appointments and making sure she's taken care of.
That's awesome.
I can relate to that. My mother was diagnosed with cancer, and she has gone through her chemo treatments. And Mama, when she went to her chemo treatments, she dressed up in some kind of a funny outfit, just to try and because she knew that it would be rather somber there, and she wanted to try and
lighten the mood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, but her last checkup, showed no cancer. My father has, I think, like stage 4 heart failure, something like that. I think it's 3 or 4. I think it's 4 though. Anyhow, but I'm still blessed to have both of them with me at their 80 and their 80s. So Templin, keep hope alive, and see, we're not.
Yeah, my mom's 79. My dad's 80. Going to be 84.
Hey, Molly. Molly, you welcome.
Numerous surgeries.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Can't get rid of this cough.
Scarface. But it's I think that there's always 2 different ways you could look at things. I was watching the Breakfast Club, as I mentioned earlier. One of the things that they were talking about on there is how it's funny. I've been told I grew up poor as dirt. All right. That's just the way I was raised. Now that doesn't mean I feel any the worse for wear about it, but it does give me one perspective, and I'm sure there's other perspectives out there. But considering I think we may have been the only kids there that were on, got free lunches at school and that type of thing because we were poor. But which, I mean, if you look at things from that perspective, considering the size of the school, I think it's pretty safe to say in my grade that we were probably the poorest in the class. But my family's done real well through education, through effort, through the path that they've taken. Both of my brothers have the equivalent of, and this is bragging a little bit on my family, I guess, but both of my brothers have the equivalent of PhDs with in real estate. My daddy actually did go through and get a PhD. I think my mom got a master's degree, and they've done real well free lunch kit. Hey, Templin, I'm right there with you.
My kids were.
Yeah. And so I think that maybe, that does affect how I think perspective as you get older. For my brothers, it gave them a chip on their shoulder. And, they've gone out and they do really well. For me, it just always kind of seemed like I was never meant to be rich. I was never meant to have money. So I've always been really tight with my money, parsimonious with my money. And so as I've gotten older, I've started making a little bit more. It's really just a little over a year ago. In 2022, July, we got a really good pay raise, and that actually put me as comfortable as I've ever been. But it's all according to I've never let money be the standard, the yardstick, because I could have done a lot of things differently. I had opportunities to do things differently that would have paid me a whole lot more money, but I'm not sure I'd have been any happier. In fact, I could probably be just as happy doing some of the other things I could be doing. And, but I don't think it's about money. I think it's about being happy and content. A lot of times just getting on here, talking with my friends, I do mess with Devil Dog a little bit, but
a little bit.
Well, yeah.
Hey, if you could call a spade, let's be honest about it. You two fight like cats and dogs.
Well,
even though it's all in fun, it's still like cats and dogs.
Okay.
And I know I have cats and dogs, and I know how they fight.
Well, Nikki
But they
goes.
still love each other.
Nikki goes chases I think she's kind of quit for the most part lately. I think maybe she actually caught one of the cats. So we got like 3 cats outside or something like that. I only know
dogs. Did you see the short I put up yesterday of Jewel and Daisy?
I did. Who's the king?
I'm
King
right
of the
now.
Hill or something like that.
Who's the boss?
Who's the boss? That's it. Yeah, and it looked
you
like
didn't see it? Des, you didn't see it?
I'm gonna go look right now. Hey,
Oh
Virginia.
my God, I was sitting here and those two were wrestling. And I just turned around, and thought I just made a short out of it. That's pretty cool. No talking or nothing. It's just them, playing.
Yeah,
I'm at the page now.
Looked like Daisy won that.
Jewel that's her getaway with it. Jewel's twice the size as Daisy.
Well, I noticed that, but at first, Jewel got Daisy off the bed. No, Daisy
Daisy. Jewel jumped off the bed because she her bowl of food's down here, and so when Daisy comes in, she jumps off the bed to protect her food. Keep Daisy away from it. That's what's so funny. If she doesn't want to eat it, she if there's socks around, she'll pick socks up and put them in the bowl and cover up the food. Like, what are you doing?
It's a smart cookie.
Yeah, she's like that. He's trying to hide it. So you pick up the socks and say, "No, stop that." So then she tries to push the bowl. What she ends up doing is pushing it over because it's on a 5-gallon bucket, so she can, reach it. So she has to bend down to get it. It's up close to her head. She'll push the bowl over, and so you tell her, "Don't do that. Leave it alone." So then she thinks, "Well, I got to protect it." So she'll lay there, and if that dog comes in, she's hungry enough, she'll jump down and eat it. If not, she'll just watch them. And so that's what it was. Daisy came in, so she went down to protect her food, and then jumped back up and Daisy started playing with her. So it was.
Yeah, I'm watching the two of them play right now, wrestling.
Daisy's from that Texas German Shepherd rescue.
Yeah,
I got her from down there, and I kind of had twofold that I posted that for just on my page, but I had the rescue person, Kathy, who's from Texas, had her come over and look at it, Rich Cat Ranch, I told her about it so because she wants to keep tabs on how Daisy's growing. So, anyways, and she couldn't believe how big Daisy was getting, and she is getting a good sized dog. She's not gotten very wide yet, you know. She's just getting tall and she's like a Twiggy. She's really skinny.
Daisy's a swatter.
Yeah.
I'm watching her swat Jewel. She's like, whoa. She is a swatter.
But Daisy, if Jewel gets mad, Jewel puts her down really fast. I mean, she can, you know, I watch her because Jewel could get mean.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, she can get mean. I've seen her put other dogs on their backs and like, you know, because they did something like bit her tail or something that made her mad. So she puts around, puts the dog down, and get them on their back with her, like, you know, submissive.
Yeah.
Most of the time, Jewel's a sweetheart, you know.
Well, she's gonna tell you, I'm the boss. Hey, back off.
Yep. But anyways, I just thought it was kind of a cute short, so I posted that.
It's great. I gave you a thumbs up. I didn't make a comment, but I'm
Right.
still watching it. I have it playing right here. I'm just watching it over and over.
And then we had our fire yesterday. You know, I don't know if you guys saw the video for this morning.
I hadn't seen anything this morning.
I come home. I had to go to the electrical store to get new breakers because my shop's out of breakers are all too tight. There's too many breakers in there, and I don't have enough room. So I went and got some mini breakers. I come home and Susan and Lee are out there pulling Johnson grass, and I looked at them and said, "What are you guys doing?" Well, we're pulling out the Johnson grass. Just go get the torch and start burning, you know, the Johnson grass. Well, I assumed when I said that Lee knew to start down at the windward side, you know, and not at the front of the wind. Well, he went out there with a torch and lit it at the upper wind area, at the lower, you know, the other side, and it just took off. The wind and just burnt the crap out of the garden area, and it burned up 3 pallets and 2 plastic tubs that Susan had out there.
Good.
So I just used it as a beginning of our seed with a seed collaboration with the Vineyard Chicks.
And so it's in that video. Enter into Survival Seeds collaboration.
Yeah.
In that video. Okay.
Yeah.
Mama Ann.
I'll look at it after.
It was a good sized fire though.
Hey, Mama.
Come up, Mama. Come up. Click on the thing. I hope you're on your computer. Come on up. We can you can be up here on panel. That'd be great.
It's 64 degrees out. It's warm, but I'm cold.
Yeah. It'd be great to have Mom up here. She'll come up. I just don't know if she
I
will.
go to the doctors on Wednesday. They managed to squeeze me in before the 3 or 4 months to get my blood drawn for my wound doctor. I am not looking forward to it. So if you see me all grumpy on Wednesday, it's because I saw my doctor.
Yeah, I heard you talking about your doctor, you know, last night.
Yeah, I hate him.
Y'all behave. Well, it's funny that you talk about that because me and Tammy were just talking about, you know, some seeds, you know, starting some stuff for, you know, this year. It's a little late to be, you know, planting some things down here like like potatoes and what have you, but I'm thinking of doing that anyhow.
Really, it's late for potatoes?
I think so. I think they should have been in the ground.
I thought March 17th was the day they're supposed to, you know, they say you should plant potatoes.
Well, I think it depends on where you live. Around here, it seems like you ought to have them in the ground. Now, I could be wrong on that, and maybe I'm misremembering it, but I thought, you know.
Susan does. You're pretty much level with me. I mean, we're pretty close to same height. You're in zone 7, aren't you?
Zone 8B, I think, maybe 8A.
Okay, we're at 7, and we haven't started our potatoes. And Susan does potatoes in a bucket. Mama says she's not ready yet.
USD. Hang on, let me look it up, is according to this, I'm in 8B. So I'm down. I mean, if you're 7A, that's uh, a zone and a half higher. I'd have to look at it and see, but I think I was thinking we should have gotten. You're not ready yet? Okay, Mama, just whenever you're ready, come up. I was thinking we should have had our, if we were going to grow potatoes this year, do them a couple of weeks ago. The goal is plan on Good Friday up here. And I could be wrong. It seems like when we planted potatoes before, it was earlier in the year because it's almost the end of February. Now, and the peppers, I should have had my peppers started already. But we do have a long growing season. I mean, down here we get 160 days plus,
Yeah.
I think.
Well,
So,
we started last year this time, and it was too early because the time the plants were ready to go outside, they were still big enough to go outside. It was still really cold out. By the time we got them outside, they were too big to transplant and make them more, grow good.
well,
So
me and Tammy,
we're waiting until March.
we were just looking at. I mean, we need to get tomatoes and really peppers. That's the main thing right now. Get the peppers, get some starch. Tammy was talking about how she wanted to do it, and I was suggesting to her that we go through and pick out which tomatoes. This year I don't know if I'm gonna, different people plant different tomatoes based on what they're looking for. There's three different things I think that you look at. One, some people plant tomatoes just because of the way they look. I mean, the Brad's or Atomic Grape tomato is a beautiful tomato. It's not a real big tomato, but it's got like 5 colors in it. Two, you have those that you grow because of taste, and my 3 favorites are Cherokee Purple, Aunt Ruby's German Green, and Black Krim. Those are my 3 favorite tomatoes. Tomatoes. And then you also grow tomatoes for quantity. You want something that's prolific, a lot of people. And one of the ones that does real well with that would be like triple crop. I think all those that I've listed are probably through, what is that? Something Creek up in Missouri, Baker Creek.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's in Missouri.
it is.
And they've got a real good selection of all sorts of vegetables. We don't do much in the spring or in the winter, fall garden, but I do. I love the good taste of a good tomato. That's just something about it, and you don't get that with store bought tomatoes. It's to me a real obvious difference.
Yeah, you have to start peppers early though, right? If I'm correct, because they take a long
Yeah.
time to germinate and produce.
Well, yeah, you do. Now, there's 2 different ways you could do peppers, and for that matter, tomatoes as well. Several vegetables. You could either get starch, which is probably one of the easiest ways to do it, which somebody else has already gone through the germination and the initial stages of growth. But you're kind of limited in the selection of what somebody else chose to produce. If you're starting them from seed, you can go through and pick whatever cultivar you want. And so I think we can grow brassicas. It's just not something I've ever focused on.
I don't know what that is.
A brassica is like I think it's like cauliflower, maybe. I'm pretty sure broccoli is, and it's a lot of the fall, stuff from what I can tell. I mean, it's been a while since I've looked at some of this stuff, but vegetables are,
Well, I just know that just 17 years we lived here, every Easter we have, right after that, we have a freeze. no matter what Easter is, we have a freeze after. So Susan and I are cautious about starting anything outside until after that freeze, because the farmer I used to work for across the street, he would start planting corn in March, and every Easter the corn would be up about that tall or so. It would have a freeze and it would die out, and we always had to go back and replant. And
Well,
I thought,
Jason from Cock Hill is growing broccoli right now and
Yeah.
greens. So
Yeah.
you know, like kale and all that stuff.
in a
he's
greenhouse or
and he's in
outside?
Alabama. I'm sorry?
Outside?
Outside.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's
Tim-
growing it all in this field right now.
Temple and I don't eat much in the way of brassicas, cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, also bok choy, collards. Even though collards is real popular here in Mississippi.
Rutabaga, turnips, kohlrabi.
Yeah, those are brassicas. And it's just, I mean, it's probably one of the least as far as, you know, in my house, you know, we don't do a lot of those things.
Love broccoli, love cauliflower.
Well, we do some, but it's just not, you know, if we do, it's probably more like if we go out to eat and it's a option on the menu or something. Of course, to be honest with you, we don't do a lot of cooking anyhow. We do some, you know, I like cooking every now and again.
Yeah, my
But
favorite out of the whole list is broccoli. Then
Yeah.
Brussels sprouts. A good steamed broccoli is so good, or raw with dip.
you know, well, we do cabbage, you know, for New Year's, and we do your standard cabbage, black-eyed peas, and cornbread, and ham for New Year's. Up here, crop insurance won't cover corn losses from freezing if you plant before April the 17th, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, we don't get crop insurance. Of course, we're just, you know, a small time. We just have a garden. But Tammy, you know, Tammy's been growing stuff since before I met her. When our first house, I remember our first place was it first or second place, because you know, first she was in an apartment. I moved in with her over there. Then we moved into a small house down off of 469, and Tammy had all these plants there, and we got into a fight. I mean, we used to fight like cats and dogs, and well, we did. I'll tell you about one fight we got into. Shh, don't tell Tammy. Well, you can, I guess. She knows about it. It ain't like I'm pretty sure she just don't like it when I, you know, tell her, you know, to air our dirty laundry or whatever. But hey, that's like 35 years ago. So anyhow, I remember one time she took my keys and my wallet, and you know those old, you know, propane tanks that have the lid on them, that you pull the lid up and hook it, you know, they come out and fill up. We had one of those because we had, you know, propane. But she took, oh, cool. But she took my wallet and keys and put them under the lid. You know, she was mad at me, so she just didn't want me to find my wallet or keys. So I got so mad about it. She got the desired effect. She was just wanting to, anyhow. So I went and cut up every plant she had in the place. And, well, hey, it was her goal to upset me, and it was my goal to upset her. I figured that would do it.
What a waste of energy.
That was a food waste.
Well, it wasn't food. It was just like ladies or mother-in-law tongues, and you know, she may have had some aloe vera in there, that type of thing. You know, they weren't food crops. They were, you know, house plants. And so, and she probably had 20 of them, you know, 20 or 30 of them. But hey, we were young and stupid, you know.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that don't happen anymore. In fact, we had the nicest room in the house was the bathroom. And we used to get into fights where we throw things and be stupid. I had a really nice light blue paint on the walls, but yet, you know, it had, like, I don't know if it was baby oil that was slung up against it, or you know, may have been some kind of a lotion or something. I don't know. We just, hey, we were both very passionate people, and at the time, I think we were more focused on, making the other feel as aggravated as we were. So I think we were pushing buttons. You do that when you're young and stupid, or at least we did. We used to get to, into fights, arguments all the time. But I love her a whole lot more today than the day I married her.
That's the
So
most important thing.
that's right. We had kind of a tumultuous beginning, but it all ended up good. But
There
yeah,
you
we were just, and we look for things sometimes to do together. We both enjoy things like car shows and gardening, and we like going to museums and that type of thing from time to time. We try to find some things where we can, be on the same page, on the same, heading down the same track. But anyhow, but I just thought I looked today and I did not see anybody live, and I didn't even see any stuff that I would actually go into. Um, Sometimes I look for live streams where, hey Susan,
Good morning.
how you doing?
I'm doing good. And yourself?
I'm blessed.
Awesome.
So but I did see one. I saw one that was kind of like a panel like this. And so I clicked on it, and they actually had a StreamYard link up there pinned above the chat. And I thought, and y'all know how bad I am about hopping up on clicking on that StreamYard link. If I see it, it's almost a given. I'm going to click on it.
Right.
And but I figured maybe since this was a live stream that I wasn't used to, that maybe I would listen for a minute, because they could be talking about the Antichrist or something, So I went through and I listened, and I had to listen pretty hard. I didn't understand a word they said. And then I looked at the chat, and it was all in a foreign language. Now, hey, I think it was German. Now, I couldn't have spoke German. My daddy probably, could have. He could have carried on a conversation. But, if it was in Spanish, I'd have given it a shot. But
Right.
there wasn't much sense in trying to hopping on that one. So I just figured I'd throw up a live stream my own. After all, I was going to fill a need. But anyhow, and try, this way it kind of goes through, and it allows me to, gain some maybe watch hours. In fact, I don't know how, let me look over here and see. Switch accounts. There we go. I don't know how far I am from being, like I mentioned, I will be doing oh, cool. I'm almost at 30 or 2,400 hours. I need about 606 hours.
Nice.
So, well, that's not bad.
No, it's not.
Now, from the 3,000 fan funding, obviously 1,606 hours for the full monetization. But hey, it's just something to do. I figured I'd work on it.
Nothing wrong with working on it.
That's true. So, what y'all got going today? Anything?
Nope, I'm gonna be chilling at home. I actually made what I sent you guys. I made a mini version. To see how it looked on a mini version. So I might make a second one and throw it in for a giveaway someday. But let me show you. This is a mini version. I have 3 sizes. I did the middle size for you, for you guys.
Yeah.
But this is the mini version of the one I did.
Hang on, let me bigify you.
Oh, I know what she sent you now. She
Yeah.
sent you a reef.
Yep. I
Yeah,
sent
she
you guys. I made 4 medium-sized ones for you all, and then this is the little one that I made.
Yeah, that's the same material too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, because I have
She
the
just
extra
showed it
material.
again. Dad, show it again.
All right.
Hang on one
I
second.
made you the medium-sized one, so it's bigger than this. and then-
Hang on one second. So she can
Oh,
come.
gotta get-
She gotta get her glasses so she can see it. Okay, now she's here.
Oh, Dad, that's gorgeous.
So I made you guys a little bit bigger one than this.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Jamie and Eddie, and Gary and Jesse and Lisa all have the same patterns.
Oh, that's
I,
awesome.
I
Thank you
shipped
so
off
much.
4 of them, and you should get them on the 26th.
Did your hands get tired?
No, actually, it wasn't too bad because the material I got was like the rolls that you get like at Dollar Tree when you go into the craft section, those little rolls.
Uh-huh.
So I picked up that, and I picked up also in Dollar Tree Plus the square ones that are like 5 in a pack, and I just
Cool.
cut them into strips and pulled, and then I just looped, and it was like really, it was so
Easy.
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 But the bigger one, like I have a big one for the 4th of
Yeah.
July, and that one took me almost 2.5, 3 weeks because I had to figure it out.
Awesome.
So
Thank you so
Yeah,
much in advance.
you're welcome. Since you're all parents of puppies, I'm like, this is where it's going to these puppy
That's where
moments.
it's going. Appreciate that so much.
So
You're very
you
welcome.
you got things that's going to be here on the 26th. It'll probably be here on the 27th for us. Everything
Yeah,
seems to be a day later.
I'm just reading what this says.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
For us, it's always a day later because it goes to one
Yeah.
post office. Then it has to be transferred to us. It's always a day after that. So
my sister sent from California in a 6x9 envelope 2 birthday cards to my granddaughter, and normally it takes 10 days. She mailed it the week before, like the last week of January, and I just got it the other day. It took, what is that, 3 weeks?
yeah.
3 weeks for a 6
Yeah.
by 9 envelope. There's no way we could really tell when it was mailed, but she told me when. So I don't know where it went because there's no tracking, but holy moly.
I've got the tracking number, so I'll send it to you. But I just sent it out yesterday.
Okay.
So
We always say yesterday because for the Pony Express.
Yeah. And also, Gary, I ordered your pencil parts for
Okay.
the Mont Blanc. I
Yeah.
ordered the pencil plus the Mark Blanc. They were supposed to be here on Monday too.
The Butler Blanc.
Hopefully,
That's
it'll be here Monday. It'll be here Monday or Tuesday. But I already started the Coco Bolo pencil.
Oh, cool.
I picked out a nice. At least it looks like it'll be a nice piece of
I
wood
think it-
with good grain in it.
yeah, definitely snail mail.
Well,
It'd probably be faster if I drove it, but they're too far for me to drive, so and my car won't make it.
For our mail around here, it's like it has come like covered wagon.
I hear you. Tell you what, let's have a duck race. Why
Okay.
not?
Put me in.
I already have.
Okay.
You know, if anybody else wants to enter, please type a 1. I went ahead and put Virginia and Templin Acres in there, and me, Jerry and Des, y'all in here, and I just thought it'd be kind of fun. I don't even remember what the name of this one is. To the update. Yeah, this is chef timer. Apparently I had one, for a chef thing. Well, let me look at the name list. Yeah, it's still got us on there. It just didn't show it. But it's just something to do. Hey, Molly. Let's
Yeah,
put
make
Molly.
Molly in there. Yep, Molly's been quiet, but she's here. I don't know if Scarface is still here or not, but
So
We'll put him in there. And I'll do the same thing I was doing last time on here. Anybody that wins, if you send me an email, I'll send you $1. I sent Simon his $2 the other day. All right, let's check the name list one more time. There we go, done. And set it. Only requirement I ever really have is have a superhero unless somebody objects. You know, there's Batman, Virginia's Batman. No, not Batman's Spider-Man. Spider Duck.
Spider-Woman.
I don't mind, I don't mind. I mean, it's not a whole lot, but it's not like I'm trying to buy viewers anyhow. If I was, I'd be offering a whole lot more. I think it's just a little happy. And most folks, I don't reckon care much about the dollar anyhow. But anyhow, it's something to do, and while we have conversation.
All I know is I need to live somewhere where somebody grows acorn squash, butternut squash, and sweet potatoes.
Well, you
We
grow
got
that.
the numbers, Gary.
I love those.
Do what?
So we talks the numbers. I had my all-time high views in one day. 9,013.
That's awesome.
Number 13. That's my number.
Hey, I like 13. That's my buddy's Carnegie's badge number.
That was the highest number I've ever had in views in one day is 9,013.
That's awesome.
You grow a Templin?
Now, was that on a longer format, or was that on the longer format, or was that on the short? He's muted at the moment.
Sorry, Sue was talking to me.
That's okay.
That was long and short. I put a short out, and I had a video out, and so it's I'm getting people viewing videos that go back weeks,
No.
So, but it's on both. I try to post a short. I try to post something almost every day. I don't make it every day, but I try to.
Yeah. Well, I understand. I've got to where I'm not doing hardly anything. And Templin grows those too. Cool. For me, it becomes looks like Jerry, you're gonna win.
No way.
You're gonna have to send me an email.
Whoop, whoop.
I thought that thing was going to be way back in the way. It's far out in front. Must be those big feet, the clown feet.
Yeah, I always like the acorn, the butternut, and the sweet potatoes. I like roasting them and then having so good.
We always
Mash
have
them all together.
every year too.
I just can't grow anything here because one, I don't have a yard for it. Two, the front burns everything that grows there, but lantana, Mexican heather, and aloe and agave. That's what I got out front for the bees. So I help the bees.
We do sweet potatoes in buckets.
Yeah, I can't do anything like that here. And then all the pine needles and everything that comes flying down. I have weed barrier down and mulch and stuff. And the weed barrier, I'm growing weeds. Let's just put it that way. I've got weeds growing.
Huh.
Johnson grass, I think, will grow up through a weed barrier. That stuff Jerry's dealing with.
No, I've got
Johnson grass.
clover. I've
Yeah,
got
Johnson
clover
grass is good.
growing.
The
I got
Johnson
clover
grass.
growing. What's the other thing?
Johnson grass is a summer grass. It grows in the heat.
I get no grass somewhere in my front area. That's why we put down the weed barrier and everything because nothing would grow there but weeds. and I'm
Yeah.
still getting weeds through the barrier. It's just like, come on.
Yeah.
It's because everything that's coming off the roof from the pine needles and everything. That's the worst part. And then on a side note, the good part is the bees pollinate their flowers. And then I ended up having, because I have lantana and Mexican heather, I'll have like little lantana sprouts and Mexican heather sprouts. So we'll take those and transplant them into a pot so that they get bigger. So they can feed more bees
What you working on, babe?
and butterflies. They like them too.
I tell you what, I got the best wife out there.
What
She's
she
about to
working
go out.
on?
Hey, she's about to go out and cut the grass.
Oh,
So
Cut the grass. Is it growing already?
yeah, oh yeah.
Wow.
if I had a riding lawnmower, I'd be out there too with my earbuds on, and I'd go and cut it also. My
Well,
aunt's got a riding lawnmower. My aunt's got a riding lawnmower up in New York. So nobody's allowed to sit on it for her. It's hers.
I have a company that's going to, I guess I should contact them. They're going to send me a grass mower,
All right, Virginia.
one of those robot mowers. They want me to test it out. And I started laughing. I'm thinking, well, the only place I can test it out is around the corral because everything else
Right.
ends up turning into hay. So
Yeah.
I told him, I said that, I cut most of my grass for hay, but I'll try it out for certain areas I have and see how it works. And they said, well, we'll send it to you. So
What
there's.
about around your house? What about around your home?
I've got concrete around the house. It's all concrete slab, and I mean, there's dirt on it and some weeds and grass is growing there, but not. It's mostly concrete. I mean,
Gotcha.
this used to be where they used to make concrete block, and so the concrete around the house is 12 inches thick.
Gotcha.
It's
Well,
old concrete.
You came in first, Virginia. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah,
Just
congratulations, Virginia. It's old
I feel
concrete, and it's very porous. I mean, you pour a glass of water on it, and in a couple of minutes, it just goes right
Yeah.
through the concrete.
Yeah.
But still, I'm kind of interested in seeing this robot because you program it with your phone, where it's not supposed to go to from
Yeah.
satellite, and then it's supposed to run. So I'm well, hey, you want to send it to me? I'll be more than happy to try it.
there
Oh,
we
yeah.
go. I may be oversimplifying things saying that I got grass. It's probably more like weeds. Anybody that's looked at any of my videos knows, it's mostly weeds out there and it's overgrown. So
Well,
Tammy,
if you saw the fire video, that's how everything around here looks, all brown. Everything is brown and dead. Nothing's growing yet.
well, I'm sure we do have some brown out there. Maybe I just ain't that observant. I don't know. I do tend to miss details like that. Anyhow, Virginia, if you'd like, you can send me an email at beltloop29@aol.com, and I send your PayPal information along with it, so that I can go through and send you $1. For every race you win. So, but congratulations. That's pretty cool.
Woo, Virginia, you and I, we're bucks up.
That's right.
Yeah, my aunt found out about my channel. I'm like, so she made a comment on my special announcement time. So I was like, oh, great. So she's going to peek in on me every once in a while.
She knows what you're doing.
Yeah. Well,
She
maybe
only lives like 5 minutes away.
Mama was here earlier. I don't know if she still is, but maybe she'll join us at some point.
She maybe just be listening.
Oh,
It
that's who
may-
you got put on the list was Mama.
That's right. I need to put Mom on here. I guess I could just go ahead and redo it. I mean,
It's
Well,
early in the race.
Mama. Maybe I'll save it. And then done. And set it.
And
All right.
forget it.
Need a superhero. I really
My
need.
superhero.
I'd like to see Batman on there, but I ain't been seeing him. He doesn't pop up as much as Spider-Man. Spider-Man.
There's Wonder Woman.
Oh, I didn't see Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I saw her.
There's Superman. Superman pops up the second most. Batman's like the least popped up.
Oh, I'm Superwoman or Supergirl.
Super
Yeah,
Duck.
Super Duck.
I'm Supergirl.
Makes sense. After all, making sure you back there surveying what's going on, making sure everything's safe. Now that everything's safe, you're going to move up a little bit, get involved.
And then somebody's going to throw some kryptonite at me, and I'm going to be like, I'm done. Race is over. She's out.
Kryptonite floating in the water.
Jerry just going about his way. Belt Loop 29, just plain a duck. Oh, but I do got number 3, which is a great number. I love the number 3 too. My favorite numbers are, some of them are 3 and 7. Obviously 29. 17's a great number. 73.
I don't have a favorite number.
What are you trying to do, Otis?
A lot of times I'll just go for my birth date or my birth year.
Otis is moving the food and his bed at the same time. I don't know why.
He doesn't want anybody to have it. It's his stuff.
Well, he keeps moving. Now he's just moving the food, the bowl. Sometimes they move the bowls and I can't find them. It takes me a while.
You gotta watch Cog Hill Farm because there's Loretta, one of the pigs, and he'll go to do his errands in the morning. And he's looking for the bowls, and the bowls aren't like one of them might be in front, but he can't find the other one. And he's like, "Okay, Loretta, where'd you put the bowl?" So he's got to go look. He's got to go walk in, go behind the metal things that they use for them to sleep in, and it's on the back side. Then one day he couldn't find the other ones, the boyfriend's, the husband's bowl. So he's like, "Okay, where's your bowl?" So he looks behind, and he found Loretta's, but he couldn't find the other ones. And then he went inside a thing that was like sitting in a bunch of hay. Hey, Scarface, congrats if you're here.
One.
Congrats, Scarface. Send me an email, and that email address is beltloop29@aol.com.
That's if you're still here.
If you're still here. I mean, we've got only got a couple folks, well, really Virginia and Templin, chatting, and
You got what, 6 people in here?
5, it looks like, maybe.
Okay, why don't you drop down one? You had 6.
Yeah, and so there's no telling.
I have you on YouTube and on StreamYard.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I am kind of working on those watch hours after all.
Najuma's not on the list.
Oh, excellent. There's Najuma. Let's add Najuma. Sorry, Najuma. I appreciate you,
I'm glad you woke up and said congrats, because I knew Najuma was here and I said hi earlier.
Yeah.
What are you crocheting, Molly?
Hey, sitting in the chat is just fine with me. Even if you ain't, I hope I didn't come across as, Batman.
Ah, there we go.
Batman.
Templin is Batman. Very
I think
cool.
it's Virginia.
What was
Go up, count the 4 ducks.
Brad?
Jerry,
Yeah.
me, you, and Virginia. And then is that Spider-Man down there too?
I was saying I had the best life
What was
ever.
And
Jerry's?
Scarface is Spider-Man.
He asked if we had grass growing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Do we have grass growing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we got grass growing. And so,
Wow.
Trying to get a handle on.
yeah, it's Virginia.
Look at
Tammy's
this,
trying to
both
get,
superheroes. Both superheroes are running to the front.
You shouldn't
got
be cutting the grass. You should be let the goats eat it. If it's weeds, they'll eat it anymore. They love weeds.
you,
Come out the good.
yeah,
Yeah, they don't eat enough of
They don't eat enough of it. Hey, you know, you ought to let them out on the yard. The gate's shut.
Well,
You know what that means? It means you need more goats.
I just put his collar on.
Baby, you ain't got to put collars on them.
I want to put the collar on him so I can hear the bell ring so I know where he is.
Oh, okay. Whatever you think, baby. It's up to you.
Molly.
You hear me, Gary?
What's that?
If the goats don't eat enough of the weeds, you need more goats.
Hey, we just had two, but we I appreciate
They should be eaten by now.
Maybe
Yeah.
there's not enough food for them to have.
No, I think she said that she meant they don't eat enough of the weeds.
yeah, she said they don't eat enough of it. And yeah,
Okay.
trouble is we only got an acre and we still got, you know, chickens and she's got compost bins for compost worms and she got all kind of cats and dogs and you know Tammy could have her own petting zoo if she wanted. So
You need a llama and a couple of donkeys and some
Not on
cattle.
one
Emu.
not on one acre.
I would love to have a donkey to hug.
I've got a donkey baby's going to be born any day now. We don't know exactly when it is, but she looks like she's carrying an elephant in there.
Aw.
You know, we had two goats not too long ago. They were just born. One of them, I told my buddy at work I'd let him have it if it was a male. And it looks like we got one male and one female. She's already sold, you know, the female. So somebody at her work wanted one. So me, I don't tend to think of Temple wants an alpaca.
Alpacas are not worth anything unless you're going to cut
Congrats,
the fur off.
Virginia.
Virginia, I think that's the second one, Virginia one.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
Oh,
Virginia, too.
That's $2.
Alpacas are worthless unless you're cutting the fur, the wool off them. That's the only thing they're good for.
Aren't
won't
they good
protect
for?
Nope.
Oh,
they
they
won't-
don't protect.
Nope, they don't protect nothing. They don't, llamas will protect. Alpacas won't.
Okay.
A llama will actually kill a coyote.
Oh wow.
He wants an emu. Yeah, speaking of emus, Jason's got Goldie and Nugget, and she's laid 6 eggs. He hasn't started to lay down because the boy emu usually lays on the nest or on the eggs. He hasn't laid yet, so they don't know if he's going to lay on them or not. But their eggs are like this big, and they're a green
Yep.
egg. It's the wildest things I've ever seen.
I asked Susan if we got a lot emu, and she said, "Nope, we're not fenced in enough yet."
Yeah, and it would have to be a high enough fence too, because they jump. They jump. But it's so cool to watch Nugget and Nugget around, and he calls him the sheriff, and Nugget likes it. They raised him since he was a little baby. They brought him in the house and everything. Up to
Yeah,
a
they
certain-
run around like crazy.
Yeah, when he gets his zoomies, he's so funny. When he was younger, but he's mellowed out more as he's gotten older, and he likes to pick on their shoes. He likes to be petted. You know, you just don't wear any jewelry around them, no earrings in your ear, no hair clips or anything like that, because emus will go for it all.
Talk about the 4-H. We're going to the Houston Rodeo here on the 2nd, I think it is, of March. And they're supposed to have some animals down there. That's going to be down in Houston. Oh, well, I found out also that our nephew on Tammy's side is going to be riding in the, I think he's a bull rider, and he'll be there at the Houston Rodeo riding.
That's
which
awesome.
I thought it was pretty cool.
So you're driving back to Texas in March, huh?
Yeah. I think we're leaving on the 1st. And
I'm just like Randy, you let her.
well, I did not realize you said you tried.
Oh, I got the call.
Okay, we'll let her in.
Yes.
Okay. Apparently, you know, I guess Reggie messes with, or Nikki messes with Reggie because she let Reggie out. Although I think she keeps him tied up on something. And yet, I don't know. Now, if you're a winner, you win $1. Tammy, do you want to be entered on the race?
I don't need all.
You don't need $1. Okay.
Thank you.
Well,
I
But
need,
she has all of them anyways.
I need treats for Reggie.
you need each for Reggie. Okay.
Molly goes. There goes Molly. Molly's gonna
Virginia, the superheroes are falling back.
Molly's.
No, here she comes again.
I
Oh,
need to get,
no. Here comes Temple.
I need
Here
to
comes Templin.
Ticket. Katie's gonna win it.
Templin's got it. Congratulations.
All right, Katie got it.
That's awesome. Send me an email. And
I guess Otis is outside.
yeah, Otis is outside. You know he ain't gonna be chasing.
I
Yeah.
didn't know Reggie doesn't chase.
Yeah, Reggie may chase him. Try to hit Buddy. Hope not. I suspect because we got seven people in the chat. I'm appreciative of every one of them. I think some of them may be just kind of listening, and that is appreciated. For that matter, if anybody wants to play a playlist at some point, just let it run. I'm down with that too. But hey, it's all good. Templin, send me an email with your PayPal info, contact info on that, so I can send you $1. Let's race again. It's hard for me to break off of here because we got 2 superheroes.
Mhm.
It's funny. I don't watch the superhero movies.
I do.
But well, something about
Not all
the
of them, but
You didn't mix them up or shuffle them.
no, then I'd lose the superheroes.
Oh.
You know, they don't always
shuffle till you get another one.
do what now?
Just keep on shuffling until you get another one.
Well, yeah, but I've got 2 on here. 2's a rare thing.
Want to go eat at Olive Garden around 3?
I thought we were, yeah, did we decide Olive Garden?
Oh.
That's fine. I just thought we had somewhere else in mind.
Olive Garden's what we're talking about.
Okay, that's fine. I'll get the soup and salad.
Here, Otis, come on.
Some folks don't like, Olive Garden. I like it.
Go.
It's a
You going
good.
there for lunch?
Do I now?
You going there for lunch?
Yeah, I think so, or dinner or something. We don't necessarily have a set eating time. We just kind of eat whenever we get around to it. Tammy's got her stuff she's doing. I got my stuff I'm doing. And at some point, we'll go through and say it's time to eat. I guess we're going to get hungry. By the way, you can type a 29 or DD in the chat, and it will drop your link. That way, I do like going through and checking out new channels on occasion. Only trouble is I've got my, BFF will work as well. Let me start a new thing, tell them to type peace.
I don't know. Oh, there it is. This took a little while.
Yeah. Some folks that's been having problems with their Nightbot. Just a suggestion would be to go through and
There goes Des. Des is going to
Des about to win this.
Des winning.
Congratulations, Des. Send me an email.
Oh, holy cow. Thank you.
That's awesome. Let me put it in chat too.
Do I have
Congrats.
to send you an email? Can I just text you?
That's fine.
Thank you. Thank you,
Let's see.
Virginia.
Let me start a new banner. Let me create a banner.
I just came across a short that was funny. And I forget what it was, but they're like, I went. It was a delivery guy who went down to Miami, and they go around and sell these little $2 shots of espresso Cuban coffee, and he went and got one, and he said that it heart rate so much that he felt like he was on an adrenaline rush, and he's talking like Billy Fast. He goes, I don't know what they did to me or what they do with the Colombian coffee, but man, it woke me up, and I can't stop. I'm like, I can remember my grandmother when I was little giving us coffee. It would be like this much coffee to this much of the canned condensed cream, and we would have that. They would feed us like little on Spanish coffee, Cuban coffee.
Some folks use coffee to make like uh, different type of glazes, I think.
Some people
I-
use coffee for staining too.
Yeah. Yeah, Tammy uses coffee on her craft stuff. She'll
Mhm.
stain pages for her.
Yep, for
Yep.
junk journaling. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's what I need to do. If you're coming from Pedal from the Past, I'm gonna go through my drawers of stuff, and she's gonna have so much stuff for for her junk journal. She's gonna be like, Des, I have no room in my car for this stuff. I have so much paper stuff, craft stuff. Hey Simon, good morning, hon.
Hey, Simon. If you get a chance, come on up, brother.
If you're awake and alert and you've had your morning Colombian coffee
Well, wait a minute.
or Cuban coffee,
He may. I assume he's still over there in Houston,
he is.
and so I don't
Devil
know.
Dog?
No,
Well,
he's at a hotel, motel.
I don't know. Did Devil Dog stay with you last night, brother? Did he go on home
That's what I'm wondering.
after breakfast? Okay.
Is Eddie with you still? Eddie with you, Simon, or did he go home last night? He might have gone home because his medication is home.
Yeah. Houston ain't that far from Devil Dog's house. Not that far. I mean, it's about an hour.
Yeah, it does say. I think it's an hour.
He went home and texted me. He made
Oh,
it.
good. Good.
You know, Eddie's a very thoughtful person, I guess, in that way. It never dawns on me to text, or maybe I'm just not very thoughtful, I guess.
I always tell everybody, text, especially my family and stuff, or whoever, I'm closest to. It's like, text me, let me know you're home safe, so I don't have to worry. My aunt is always on the road, so I want to make sure.
I won.
Yay! Send yourself a buck.
Send yourself
Now,
an email.
I don't know. I don't know if I want to go to the trouble of sending myself an email.
Text yourself. Send myself $1.
Well, I'll have to look into that. Thank you, Virginia. I appreciate that.
Well, be honest with you, I wasn't sending an email, so
Well, that's okay. Y'all can text me. You got my number. Otis wants out again. No, Otis, the goat's out. And I've already fed you. In fact, you scattered food all over the floor, nudging that dadgum bowl around. Maybe I'll put his in a bigger bowl. Don't know. All right. Scarface, Templin, and Najuma out front. Des pretty close. In fact, Scarface falling back. That means Des takes over that spot. Najuma starting to fall back a little bit. Templin still strong out front.
I think I'm going to be falling back soon.
Well, everybody falls back at like 18 seconds, 19 seconds, I think it is. And so it's always fun to watch the races. Y'all ever played that anagram game?
So what game?
Anagram, I think it's anagram, where you go through and make words out of different letters.
Oh yeah, like jumbled letters, and then you have to make words out of it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've done that before.
I've got that on here somewhere. I'll just have to look.
That's a pretty fun game.
Um,
That's if you're you can type correctly.
yeah. There's a game called Words on Stream that we could play. I just don't know, how far we get without more folks. No, Otis, I'm not letting you out. You've been out 2 or 3 times already today.
I'm not very good at those word games.
Well, I'm not either. Sometimes I can, for some reason, it's not unusual for me to find the biggest word, but I have Jerry win. Jerry,
That's 2 for me. Woo!
that's 2. Hey, Moon, good to see you.
Hey, Moon.
All right, we got to add Moon.
Oh, my Lola gnome. She added stuff to. Ooh, I have to go check it out. She's added stuff to her website.
Moon,
Right.
we raised. We winning money. It's a giveaway. I know it doesn't say that on the thing. I got to shuffle again. We got to have at least one superhero. There's Batman. Virginia's Batman. Congratulations. If you win, you send me an email with your PayPal information on it, and I'll send you $1. Ain't no haking. You can win more than once too. I think that's important to say.
Yeah, I've got 2. Virginia's got 2.
Yep. Yes, Otis, you're a good boy. Eat your food. I don't mind Otis being outside, but I don't think Otis is going to mess with the goat. I don't think Reggie will mess with him. But I could be wrong. Jerry, you're Batman this time.
Ma'am?
Yeah.
I'm Batman.
I thought it was Virginia. Virginia's a unicorn.
I'm simple and plain.
Sometimes that's the best way to be.
Sweetie, your back is,
I don't know where any of the batteries are, babe.
I finally found all the metal.
You messed up my green screen. No, she ain't. No, you ain't. I've got me zoomed in a little bit. So I don't know.
Maybe it's attached to it. I
To
think
the
so.
local.
Aw.
All right. Not a problem, Molly. I have no issues.
I've done that with stuff last year or the year before for Christmas. I won kids' books, and my kids are 26, 24 at that time, and I'm over. And I'm like, instead of sending me the books for kids, take them and put them in the Toys for Tots so the kids can have them for Christmas there. He's like, okay, no problem.
Molly is a Statue of Liberty. Virginia's
Because
going.
Virginia's going to win it again.
Yep.
Yep.
Congratulations, Virginia.
Virginia now.
I don't know if that's number 2 or number 3.
It's number 3 for her.
That's $3, Virginia.
I hope it's charged.
Well, there's one that doesn't work. I don't think it's.
I don't think it's. Is that the big one? That's the big one, isn't it?
Well, we had 2 of these,
And
the big one, and one of these is a one.
okay. Well, we may just need to go get some new batteries. Let's see. Just to
Virginia, that's how it was for me, hon. I had 37 subscribers before I even had one thing on my channel. Rebecca had 100 subscribers before she even had one thing on her channel. She can't believe she won again.
Yeah,
That
I'm
is-
subscribed to you, Virginia.
I would think I am, but let me look. Let me see.
Okay, Molly, take care, honey. Have a great day.
Oh, wait a minute. Virginia, let me change this. I'm so sorry, darling. I thought you were already a mod, but
She now has 34 subscribers.
well, I'm about to give her 5 subscriptions because, I wasn't subscribed on that. I am subscribed on my main channel. I just wasn't on that
The
other.
other ones.
So I guess I'm only going to give her 4 more. Oh, I am on my homestead channel too.
There it is.
That's what it is. I have 1,214 subscribers.
All right, you are now at 36 or 37. All right.
Yep, 37.
Really?
All right. Let's see here. All right, let's race again. All right. I really need to change my I really need to change my setup here. But to do that, I need to order another arm, an arm for a monitor. Hey, thanks for coming in, Molly. It's pretty. And tell Jason I said sup. Jerry is the bet duck.
What?
That's
I'm
cool.
Batman. I'm Batman.
There we go. You're hangry.
I'm Batman. I'm Batman.
You had breakfast yet?
Nope.
That's why you bet. That's why you bet, man. You had breakfast yet?
Nope.
That's why you bet.
It's almost time for lunch. I don't. I had. Well, I think
lunchtime
I had
here.
my coffee. That's my breakfast. My coffee.
Virginia says she has 33 YouTube friends who are trying to talk me into doing a cooking show, but it's not going to happen. The one thing about it, Virginia, is you don't even have to show your face. You don't have to. I've done a lot of videos without showing my face. That's all. But I mean, you don't have to do videos if you don't want to. Some folks do it for their posterity, their grandchildren, what have you. I just do it because I'm looking for something to do, and I enjoy coming on here. Des, why do you YouTube? Why do you YouTube?
Why do I YouTube?
Yeah, why do you?
Because it gives me a social life that I don't have outside my house. I don't hang with anybody. I don't go anywhere outside my house. It gives me an outlet to just relax and see. Mostly, I start off just watching channels and support. And then I met April and Glenn from Lazy Acres Homestead, and they introduced the Crockers channel. And then I started hanging out with them, and then I got into lives.
Thanks for coming in, Templin Acres. I appreciate it. Y'all enjoy the pizza. Thanks for coming in, Templin Acres.
What kind of pizza? Is it pineapple pizza?
They're going to have pizza. Love pizza.
I do enjoy the talking. I do talk a lot.
Yeah, he does. Love pizza.
That's probably why I do YouTube. Jerry's gonna win again.
Jerry. Stop
Oh,
letting
right.
the dad races.
3. 3. I got 3, and Virginia's got 3.
Yep,
No.
that's $3 a piece, y'all. You better start
Woo!
emailing.
Oh, cool. We got Simon. What's up,
Hey,
Simon?
Simon.
What's up? What's up?
It's good to see you, brother.
I saw the link that Eddie sent the link about the barbecue, and got to see Uncle Steve.
Yeah, the news article.
I mean, the Houston TV channel or whatever, the interview.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, send me some of that. Send me some of that barbecue, man. That looks good.
I don't know. Look over on the
Pepperoni. Okay.
Got a bunch of
table.
agents just now.
That's what happens. They all message you all at once.
I don't know,
Can
baby.
you see if it's plugged in over there?
Well, I don't know what the plug looks like. baby.
Well, I don't either.
Oh, wait a minute. This looks like it may be. Yeah.
Here, see if that's it. And if it is, see if this lights up whenever you.
Hang on. I'm sure this is it. Pretty sure.
Is my sound okay?
Do I now?
Is my sound okay?
You sound fine.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I just hard of hearing, Simon. A little bit. I do want to ask you about the rodeo. Well, y'all are at the rodeo, aren't you?
Yes, at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo Cook-Off. The rodeo starts on Monday, I believe.
Okay.
That's where we're gonna be next week.
That's where we're going to be next weekend. But yeah, he got a chance to eat, or Devil Dog got a chance to meet, Simon before me. So, and it's not a competition or anything still.
Sure, it's not.
Yeah, we know you well enough, Gary. I
I'm
mean,
not
Randy met me before he met any of y'all. I mean, before you all met me. So, and then
you're
both
right.
of you met me at Pedals from the Past.
I'm just playing, and never mind. I ain't gonna say it again. Anyhow, that was
Wait,
my big
Gary, you
rib.
got to meet me before Devil Dog does.
That's true.
Yeah,
And
but you met
that's
me
rough.
before, Eddie.
Yeah,
I know.
see, we got to meet Des before Eddie.
Red Solo Cup, you lift me up. Let's have a party.
Oh,
Uncle
that's
Steve,
awesome.
Bring them up. I'll see.
That's
cool.
awesome.
I did find my Uncle Steve shake yesterday and sauce. I got a steak. I got a shake and a sauce from. I'm not sure which shake. I think it may be the Gator Shake, maybe.
Okay.
And I've got his sauce with no name. I remember that just because
It's an easy name.
easy name to remember. The sauce with no name. And I'm looking for. I hadn't tried it yet, but I hadn't done a whole. I mean, I don't do a bunch of barbecue.
I don't know where that came from, but that was on my lap.
Hopefully, it's not from your chair or something.
I don't think that it was on my lap, so I don't know what that is.
Maybe it was
a
on the.
washer or an eye from a tennis shoe.
Well, it might be from when I pulled the handle on the tripod because it's screwed on, so it might have been
Okay.
there.
That's probably was from.
Yeah.
Yeah, check and see if all the pieces are there.
Well, he may not. I mean, it may not be obvious. Some things aren't.
Yeah, well, it's
But-
pretty tight, so I don't think it's I mean, I'll check it later. I don't know. Oh, you know what? It might have slipped out of here when I took it out.
Now, let me ask you this. As far as Devil Dog is concerned, is he everything you expected?
Yeah, he's the same guy you see on screen.
All right. Are you enjoying hanging out with Devil Dog?
I did.
I'm sorry.
He was my companion for 2 nights. And
There we go.
yeah, so tonight I'm gonna go with Christy and Randy.
That's cool. That would be neat to hang out with Christy and Randy.
Well,
That'll be an adventure.
I've seen them both nights, so it's like we've been hanging out all 2 nights before. So
So,
That's cool.
Simon, are you home or are you at a hotel?
I'm in a hotel,
Oh, okay.
Houston. And
When do you head home?
tomorrow morning.
Okay. That's cool that you get to hang out with all them fellas. I mean, that's like maybe next year we ought to plan our I mean, we are in, well, it's February.
Well,
I was just thinking it might be a neat time to have have our meetup next year.
it was like 60 something last night here. It was beautiful.
I think it should be in February or March.
March, maybe.
Well,
You know,
Well, hey.
before it starts getting really warm down there.
yeah. I mean, it does get hot. I mean, it's hot, I'm sure, in Dayton. And Houston, I know I lived there before. It's pretty hot. Although I will say this, it's not as hot in Houston as it gets in Mississippi. You know, Mississippi is just more extreme.
More humidity, right?
Yeah. I mean, Mississippi is the most humid state in the United States. Well, I take that back. I think Louisiana may be number one. You know, Mississippi is number two, something like that. But I've seen some things that listed Mississippi as being number one. We ain't number one in many things, and everything that we listed number one in is usually a bad thing. Well, obesity, cancer rates, heart disease, all those things, I think we're ranked number one. Cost of living, though, that's a good thing. You know, we got the lowest cost of living here in Mississippi than any state. I mean, we're probably rated number one in rest areas, you know, because in flyovers, you know, we probably have more people fly over this state than any other state. Just thinking. Otis, no, I've already told you no. And when Mama gets back here and here, if she says the goat's been put, if Ricky's been put up, then you can go out. Hey,
Well, I think I have a meet up in February or March next year, because in this April, Susan and I are headed to Georgia for a meetup. The Soils, we're going to the Soils meetup in Savannah, Georgia.
Okay, so you're going to see Bobby and Sherry.
Yep, we're going to go see Bobby and Sherry and Ann Dale and all those in that area.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to that. That's gonna be fun. So it's a little bit of a drive. It's like 13-hour drive, but I don't know if we're gonna do it in 2 days to do it in 1 day, but we're and I'm actually taking a bunch of pins and gonna sell pins there.
Okay, cool.
They said if I got a booth, I could have a booth and I could get in to the meetup thing for free if I had a booth. And I thought, well, I'll get a booth and Susan and I can, have a place to sit down and relax and, have a table and I'll put pins out. If I sell a pin, I sell a pin. If I sell, have somebody come up and order pins, so, I'll just take orders. They want to take, give me orders and that way. But Jesse says I should take everything I've made for the cruise, and then if I sell them, I can remake them. And I'm like, well, I might do that. Who knows?
Hey, we did something similar when we went down to the Gulf Coast homesteaders meetup in 2022, I guess. Was it 2022, 2021? I don't remember. It's been, a little. It was right before when we got home. Daddy was in the hospital, and we had, it was the last day or two before, Little Bill had to be put down. So that was been a year and a half ago.
So that's would be 22.
Yeah, I guess that was 22. But we had a booth there, and I think Tammy may have sold a bar of soap. I gave away a bunch of Carolina Reapers and ghost peppers, I think. And in fact, I gave Jason over at Cog Hill, I gave him the rest of the Carolina Reapers. From what I understand, he eats hot stuff. He likes hot stuff, I think. So I don't really watch Cog Hill. I don't watch most of the bigger channels. All the stuff I watch tends to be fairly small. Although sometimes I go into one that's 15,000. I've been going over into a fellow by the name of LC, and he's on late at night, and he'll have 8 or 10 hour live streams.
Wow!
But he's
So you're
got.
telling me, are you saying if I get to 15,000 or 20,000, you're not going to watch any of my videos anymore?
I'll
So
watch
he
yours.
don't watch any of us anymore.
Oh, okay.
I'll watch yours. I still, I go into my friends' live.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
The
Just
I
double
mean,
check, and I thought,
well, I mean, you've been here since early on.
right.
Des has been here since early on. Simon, not as early, but fairly early on. We good. We tight. So
Okay. I'll be sure that I'm not going to lose you if I get that get up there. You never know.
All right, Jerry, just get to 14,900 and you're good.
And stop. No more. I can't have any more. No, my goal is to be honestly. My goal is to get to 100,000 subscribers before I die.
okay.
That's my goal.
Yeah.
Well,
So if you hear something like you hear I'm getting sick or something like that, go out and campaign for me so I can get to 100,000 before I die.
Well, they have those Filipino channels that you can get quite a
I have a
few.
lot of Filipino friends.
They don't.
Yeah.
A lot.
They don't stick.
And they watch everything I put out there, and it's not uncommon for me to have 1,000 comments in a week for my videos that Susan and I go through and we comment back on every one of them.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I have, although it's been, I guess I don't reckon I've been as consistent on doing comments here though, since they took away my computer at work. They didn't take it away. Something happened with the computer. They redid it, put it back at work, and said that this computer is strictly for work. You can't do anything else on it. So I'm having to fit all my time, my YouTube time, really on when I'm at home, and I'm not at home a whole
Right.
lot. I'm for a few hours before I go to work, and then for an hour or two after I come home, and I've still got the puppies, and I've got all these other things go, and I've got to spend time with Tammy. It's hard to fit it all. It was a whole lot easier when I could go through at work and do some of the stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
Watch and comment and answer comments and it's just kind of thrown my whole schedule or my way of doing things off kilter.
Well,
And so
that video I put out there is Can You Make Change?
yes,
Okay. That video alone has 10,462 views. And it's a short, it has 192 comments. And it has 433 likes and 24 dislikes.
yeah,
But some of the comments are not really what I call nice. They're like, the comments like, well, one said that did not happen, and I wrote back, well, yeah, it did. I don't say things. It didn't happen. And another one was that Blaine saying that, oh, I was, she was, I honestly was giving her a hard time or something like that because she was having a hard day, and I'm looking at it going like, I never even said anything about giving her a hard time. I just told her what the change was in my head was she couldn't figure out what it was.
the change was $4.10.
Yeah, I mean it's not that hard from $10. $5.90 is not that hard from $10, and she was complex. Actually, that's what got me was I was watching her going like, what's she doing? And then she finally pulled her phone out, and I thought, oh, I know what she's doing. She's gonna calculate her out to figure it out. And I just said it's 410, and she looked at me and said, oh, okay. And put her phone away. And I thought, poor girl, she's got, she just hit the tender without putting any money in, and so that just threw her completely out of kilter.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure a lot of people use, debit cards and credit cards these days. A lot of people use plastic. I've found myself doing that.
It just got me that the poor girl was not able to take $5.90 from $10 and get $4.10 right off the top of her head,
So I've been checks to pay for my mom's stuff because her cards are activated or I've been writing checks. All the new kids other new kids really don't know how to handle that. You know, when
Handle checks.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
Terry.
Hey Terry. Yeah, checks are getting to be you know, like the way of the beta and VHS tapes. Checks are going away.
I still write checks. I like writing my 3 checks a month.
Susan and I don't even have any checks anymore. We have checking accounts, but we just use our ATM card.
yeah,
We
so
don't even, you know, our debit card. We don't even use checks anymore.
We just found my checks, and you know, because I didn't know I had them, I just ordered 3 sets, you know, 3 things of checks. Man, checks are expensive nowadays.
Yeah, they're expensive.
There they are. But
Oh,
see,
I got-
we have to write for my mortgage. It goes to the accountant. So the accountant, he doesn't take direct deposit or anything like that. So I have to write a check for that. And
Yeah.
then my lights and my cable, I go and drop it off at the light company on the outside box with the check. And at the cable company, I go in, we run it in the machine, and so I get my check back and put paid on whatever on it. So that way, you know, there's the check and I can come home. But I don't want them taking money out of my account. I want to be able to see my paper bill. I want my paper bill to come in my house, let me look at it, write my check, put paid, and take it to where I need to take it to.
and most
I'll
of
be right back.
the bills at the house are all digital. You know, they're
Yeah.
paid out of the bank.
Oh my God. Hold on a second. Terry. By the way, hello. He says, I'm a little sore today. I was in a car accident last night.
Oh my
What
lord!
the hell? Excuse my French. What happened?
Yeah, he just had surgery. He
He had surgery. Then he did something to his shoulder that he has shoulder surgery on, and now he's been in an accident.
Yeah,
Sorry,
sorry.
we're gonna have to wrap a Terry up in bubble wrap.
That's what I say about me and my legs. It's like my legs need to be in bubble wrap.
Yeah, I can't see the chat, so it's like, I could, but then I won't see y'all.
Got rear-ended at a stoplight.
At least it wasn't your fault.
What's up, Digit? Come on up, brother.
He's driving and listening.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
That's appreciated.
How bad was the damage, Terry? And please tell me when got checked out. You and your wife.
That ain't good.
Nope.
Well, people, it's important, you know, to try and stay as safe as you can, but you can't foresee somebody running into you in the rear end.
Yeah, I know. I was in a 3-car accident. I was the car in the middle.
I got sandwich stuff.
I got sandwiched. I was the stuffing in the middle of the cookie.
Yeah, she was the Oreo.
Oh. I was stuffing in the middle of a cookie last night. I had a photo. For me, I don't know. I didn't take it.
That's funny. Not too bad. Need a new bumper and a hitch. Make sure they check also. They check your axle and stuff to make sure that's okay. Because what you don't see outside could be damaged underneath. Trust me. I've been rear-ended in a 3-car accident, and then I've also there was a hit and run in a parking lot where the car backed up and smashed my back end. So make sure you have your axle checked out as well.
Yeah.
Your struts, all that stuff.
I want to hear more about the rodeo or about the cook-off, barbecue cook-off.
What do you want to
Who
know?
all did you see?
What's that?
Who all did you see up there?
I saw Papa Texas and his son Bam Bam. Who else do you know? Well, I mean, Leprechaun and Randy and Guggen, Franco Farms.
Mm-hmm. By the way, I got a question. And Simon, I mean, you're an integral part of the barbecue community. So I have no doubt you know Triple B, or at least familiar with him. I hadn't seen him in a while. Is he, just taking a hiatus? He's probably busy. Do you know anything about what's going on with him?
I haven't heard from him in a while, but he was working in West Texas and flying back to Alabama like every 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay.
So I know he was busy. The last time he posted a video was almost a year ago. But yeah,
Yeah.
he's busy and then also just taking a break from YouTube.
Okay.
But I don't have much contact with him other than Facebook.
Okay. I just wondered.
Yeah, he's just doing okay. He's he'll post pictures of him and the wife.
Okay. Well, maybe he's just kind of lost interest in doing the YouTube thing. It happens.
I don't know.
Hey, when I quit playing video games, I was done. I've still got friends I could come on there. I'd go on there. I have no doubt and talk with, but I got so upset with the video game. I just said, I'm done. No more. I played this game called Destiny, and I played Destiny 2, and it really angered me twice. The first time was they've got these. There's basically 3 categories. There's weapons. Maybe it's just 2 of the legendary outfits, and there's legendary. Hey, Natasha, good to see you.
Hey, Natasha.
There's weapons and there's armor, and I had 3 characters. One was they had 3 categories of characters at that time. I don't know if it's the same way anymore, but they had like a Titan, a hunter, or something like that. And anyhow, I had 3 characters, and I had every piece of exotic armor and weapon that the game had to offer, except for one. And so I spent all my time on that character for like a month, trying to get that last exotic drop for it to drop that one that I didn't have. Well, December the 3rd, I remember the date for 2 reasons. First of all, it was my birthday, and second, the next day was they were coming out with a new DLC. Finally, the day before they came out with the new stuff, they dropped it, and I finally got it. Trouble is, they did it the day before they were coming out with new stuff. So it's like, yeah, this is going to be old tomorrow, so you can have it. So I got so mad about it that I just quit playing. Finally, I missed my friends, so I went back on, started playing again, kind of got wrapped up into it again, and then they decided that they were going to nerf all the stuff, everything. And so you need to tell me, after I worked so hard, I have about 3,500 hours on Destiny. Between Destiny 1 and Destiny and Destiny 2, I've got about 3,500 hours. That's a year, and that's more than a year and a half working 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. That's how much I played. I do tend to be a bit obsessive. I think.
Was the DLC something you have to pay for?
Yeah, and I had paid for it.
And DLCs are attachments.
So
that's why they dropped it, because the new one came in, so the new one's making more money than the old ones did.
That's how they say. That's how they make money off the games, though.
yeah, I mean, I didn't begrudge them the money, even though I thought it was a little expensive. I wasn't making a whole lot at the time. Still, I bought it.
Yeah, I play a game. It's every so often there's an update, and there's a new DLC package, and if I like it, I'll buy it. If not, I'll just leave it alone. I don't need it for the game.
Well, I would stay awake at that time. I was staying awake till 4 o'clock in the morning playing this game.
Yep.
You play Poe? I'm not sure what Poe is. Lost Epoch.
That's Jewel.
Knock it off. She thinks she hears something.
She probably does, just not in your ear capacity.
Yeah, well, she's gonna hear something here. She's gonna hear me pop her in the head.
Don't you dare.
Loud.
You know, I watched an experiment one time where they were, playing different tones, and they had a wide variety of age groups there. And they had some of them that only the kids could hear. As you age, you lose some of that upper end of being able to understand it or
Yeah, I
hear
get the ringing. I get the ringing, and I've got the what's that called? That
tinnitus or tinnitus.
yeah. I've got tinnitus in my ears.
I have the same thing. My ears buzz all the time.
From low to high, and tell you to stop the video where you stop hearing that noise.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That was the age of your years. Stopped at 54. That's pretty accurate.
My hearing was always bad because when I went to go into boot camp, they tested me 3 times in the girls section hearing booth, and I couldn't hear anything. They took me over to the boys side, and I heard certain sounds. I'm like, okay, you passed. But I've gone deaf like 3 or 4 times from the buildup of my wax in my ears that I had to go and get them flushed out because they were so hard and put in that I felt like I was at a rock concert. And you've been, big speakers, and it's like you're standing right in front of the speaker, or you got them on each side. And everything just like went boom loud. And now it's like I can't hear certain sounds. I get that like that click 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 sounds like an insect in my ear constantly. That sound, and it's just so annoying. And then the ringing, it's the worst.
Wax too.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough. No joke, let me tell you. Get your ears taken care of, because being deaf, for some time I had my kids talking into my microphone so I could hear them through the earbuds and stuff because I couldn't hear them. I could see them going, and I'm like, "What are you saying?"
Well, I know that one of my brothers has hearing aids, and both my parents do. I think the bad hearing kind of. The funny thing is, I've gone to what was it, an otolaryngologist or something like this to test my hearing, and I actually passed with flying colors. The trouble is, I'm sitting here concentrating so hard, and I do have tinnitus, whatever as well, and so I really have to focus. So the trouble is, a lot of times, I guess there's a lot of other stuff going on, a lot of other noises most every time. And so it's hard for me. Sometimes it's hard for me to catch details.
Yeah.
And
I get that.
in fact, even here on the panel, sometimes it's hard for me to catch details.
That's why I'm like, excuse me, because sometimes I'll hear something from you guys, and it sounds like this, and it sounds like mumbling, and I'm like, excuse me, I didn't hear you, and then you'll say it again. I'm like, excuse me, I'm sorry, I just did not catch that, and it's just like, it has nothing to do with you. It's hearing. When you go to talk to me in person, it's like I need to look at you to know that you're talking to me.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I won't know.
Yeah. So in loud places, you gotta like yell into my ear because I can't understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like
I may have to get me some of them hearing aids. Maybe.
My dad's got one. He's because of a grenade going off years ago, and when he was in Vietnam, he lost part of his hearing. Well, his hearing got so bad in that ear, he now has a necklace around his neck, and he's got the hearing aid, for volume. And so, for the longest time, that's why I talk loud, because we'd always have to talk loud to my dad. So it has nothing to do with it. Just that comes out. I don't know how to talk quietly anymore. And Dad and I will be talking. He's like, "Hold on, you're talking too loud. Let me turn down my mic."
Coming in too clear, huh?
I was coming in too clear.
Simon, I think you may be the baby of the group today.
53.
Yep, you're the baby.
I'm just thinking out loud, but you welcome up here with all us old folks.
Thanks, Gary. Appreciate that.
Thanks a lot, Gary.
Hey, I'm the second youngest, and I'm 59.
I know. I'll be 61 this year. But still, thanks a lot, Gary.
Double dog
Yeah,
joke.
and I'm the best looking one of the whole group. I'm only 67.
Oh, that's funny.
I don't have a beard, so I can't go, you know. Oh, no, wait, I got some whiskers. Okay.
Hey,
yeah.
I like Jerry's, goatee, and I enjoy Simon's beard. That's full beard there. I can't grow that. Maybe a neck beard I could grow. But that's
Part next
too.
year.
Well, I mean, you got to have some underneath it, but you got some up top too. And mine, if you've ever seen, what is that show with Joe Dirt?
Yeah.
Joe Dirt.
All right,
Yeah.
guy.
All right. That was a funny show. By the way, I was pleased to see that had Jamie Presley in it. The first one, I don't know if y'all know who Jamie Presley is, but I saw her listed on a group of actors and actresses that you know, but you don't know their name. I know her name. Fact is, well, maybe it's because
What was she in?
she was in My Name Is Earl. She
Yeah,
was
no,
in. Well, I guess I could look it up.
Hey Gary.
But
So my facial hair goes up to like right here. Gotta keep shaving it down. Yeah, up to down by my eye socket.
that would be cool, man.
I
Y'all
got
let it.
down because it's not. I'll be all beard from here down.
That would be neat, man. You ought to do that one time, just for the sake of entertainment, maybe. For the sake of that would be
I
cool.
wanted to make him overheated, and I went to go shave. He's got all the shaving, Right now he's smooth.
I'm good for about a week or so, and then I got to start shaving down again.
Yeah.
Well, let it go 2 weeks, and then we can see it, and then you can shave it. You can do a whole video or a whole live stream on it. It's another topic. Hey,
I do have a TikTok where I shaved on my ear a couple of years ago.
That's on your channel.
TikTok.
Oh, I don't know much about TikTok. I've got an account, but I can't even access it right now. I don't think. Well, maybe I can.
I just started TikTok.
Go
Did
follow.
you?
Yep.
Well, it's funny, you start doing videos, and then all of a sudden you start getting this goal and then that goal, and become interested in this, and become, it's like, it's almost like, we tried to find oh, wait a minute. Oh, I forgot to put that back. There we go. That's better. I got to looking at the thing, and that ain't right. But I think that we have a tendency to change as. Oh, by the way, love the shirt.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love this shirt. I mean, nothing against Devil Dog shirt, but I love this heavier, firmer material. And Devil Dogs is this soft, light material. And it's like, that would be okay in the hot summertime, but this is better for regular everyday, wearing.
You heard it here first. Hey.
But anyways, yeah. I started TikTok because my son kept saying, "Yeah, let's do TikTok. Gotta do TikTok." And I got 25 followers now.
Yeah, I got like.
I started posting whatever I do on my shorts on YouTube. I put it on TikTok also.
That's kind of why I need to post that video from yesterday on TikTok.
The what?
I need to post my video from yesterday on TikTok. I made a little short on YouTube.
I've got, I don't know. I think I follow like 25 something like that people. I don't know who. When I see somebody I know, I follow them.
Right.
I have a heck of a time because I get on there and I can't find what I'm trying to find. So it's like, I just want to have to wait till somebody shows up because it doesn't happen on automatically for me.
Is that the one about the bacon in the pot?
Yes, sir.
It pops up with somebody's video. Don't even know who it is, and I don't want to watch that. I want to go to people I know.
Well, what I do typically, at least the last couple of days, what I've done is to make sure I don't miss anything new, at least the stuff I feel like I've got time to watch or whatever. I'll go into my YouTube, and if you go to your subscriptions, at the very top, you have these things right here.
Right.
Yep.
For example, it's saying Peaceful Des has a new thing. Well, that's from last night. I've already watched that. And besides, it's 4 hours and 2 minutes long. You'd think she would have cut it off at 3:29 or something. I'm just saying, 29. But, and so, anyhow, mine will show like a little blue thing. I'll find another one with blue in it. There we go. All right, hang on. I'm gonna begify myself for just a second. You see that there? Well, probably because of the green screen.
Yeah.
Nancy on Our Treasured Home has got a blue dot by hers.
Oh,
That
yeah.
means-
I've seen
So she's got a new something up, and that's just where she's scheduled for the 25th. That's tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. So I may get that. Kim Cowles is live, and you can tell by the red dot on that. Radio Jonesy has something new he's posted, and he's been doing dad jokes.
Yeah, I know. You watch it through your phone like that. I don't watch it through my phone. I
Well,
watch
I
it
have
on
no
YouTube,
choice.
on my computer.
I have no choice when I'm at work,
Yeah.
so I can't use the computer.
Yeah. When
Like
I'm
I-
at work, I'm at home. So
I know
sorry.
that.
So I'm used to watching it on my TV, and my big old TV. So right now, when I'm trying to watch it on my phone, it's like, man, this ain't the same.
Yeah, it's
Right.
different.
Well, I've got a smart TV, so I sometimes I watch on that. The issue with that is you can't really comment. I watch it on my phone,
Phone.
and but sometimes my phone's in
But
another room.
Gary, you can comment on your on the TV if you have a keyboard hooked to it.
Yep. Bluetooth keyboard.
I can't even pull up the comments now. At
Oh,
one
really?
time,
You still show the comments right on the screen.
mine was doing that at one time. It's not now.
Well,
And
you
I
need to
don't-
go back, turn it back on again. So it's got a little thing you turn it on and turn it off.
If you have a thing that shows left and right or up and down, if you hit the menu, it go left. You should put a little comment or chat box or whatever it is.
Well, on the TV, I've tried that. There's not a thing for it.
Mm.
So that's how I was able to access it when
Yeah.
it was up.
Because
And every now and then,
on the TV, because I can just scroll over to it and hit the little comment box.
right.
And it'll be kind of like a chat, on the site.
Yeah.
You can just go down and read all the comments. I'm sure I could put a keyboard on it. In fact, I have one. I should try it. But I like comments, so I'll watch it on my watch it on TV and then have it connected to my phone so I can chat.
Well, I don't think I have a spot on my box for the dongle that goes in on my wireless keyboard. So I would probably have. I don't think there's a way for me to do that. I'll take a look.
But
But-
If you got a wireless keyboard, you got a little receiver.
kind of like a mouse thing.
I'm sure there's a USB port that you can plug it into on your computer. I mean, on your TV, and that will hook your keyboard to it. Because that's what I've done on my
Right.
smart TV.
Those are called dongles.
Oh, they called. I don't know what they call them, but anyways, they're called dongles, whatever. I just call them receivers.
Right, I know, and I'm just mentioning that because I was just saying I don't think it has a receiver for my dongle. So, which the dongle is what is, I had the wireless keyboard on my computer, and I had it, it's a keyboard and a mouse, but it was not, it was working very sporadically. And so I just went back to a wired keyboard and a wired mouse so that I don't have any issues with this work.
Right. I found that my wireless, my wireless keyboard and mouse, when they start acting a little funny, change the batteries and they go back to being normal.
I've done
That's what
that.
I've done. The dang batteries are a bit causative. I don't, maybe your keyboard started, maybe you spilled coffee on it or something.
No, it was a brand new keyboard. I'll tell you what did affect it though, this phone. Every time I had the phone near me, it acted worse. Yes, it's got something to do, I assume, with the frequency with which, it uses the wireless and the frequency with which my phone uses. Because I think my phone is interfering with the keyboard and the mouse. And so, anyhow, and then it just did not work very well. MC's Nemesis. All right. Dexter Ghost. Don't know if I know Dexter. So hang on. Let me put up an overlay and bring them up. Hang on just a sec. I got to find the overlay first. Just because of the fact, here we go. Well, I ain't even got to do that. What I'll do is I'll put this up and just put that full screen. Hey, MC Nemesis, how you doing?
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing well. Good to see you.
Hello, beautiful white people here. I see this.
Well, we don't care if somebody's white or black or Hispanic. In fact, my buddy over here, Simon, is Hispanic, and we don't pay a whole lot of attention to race or that type of thing. But we also respect the fact that we know that other people don't always feel like we do about everything.
I'm not a Nazi. I don't worship Hitler, but I do think that he had the right idea of fighting communism and Marxism because we're still fighting that enemy today. So
Gary,
I won't disagree with that.
I mean, he did. Did Hitler not say that he destroyed the Marxist and communist parties? He did. The problem is he killed, like, the Talmud Jews are okay to kill because they're the devil worshippers, but the Zionist Jews like Ben Shapiro, he should have left the peaceful people alone.
I've got to respectfully, I don't, we don't do that type of thing here. It's a lot different discussion than we use. So I'm sorry. I'm going to have to let you go. No disrespect.
It sounds like you're triggered.
Well, no, I'm not triggered. I just,
you're kicking. If you kick me because of what I say, you're triggered by it. Like you don't like it.
Well, I guess it's possible.
Okay, so you are the problem.
Anyhow, hey, I respect the fact that everybody has.
In the chat, Gary.
Do what now?
It wasn't even in the chat.
Well, I know, but he won't be getting back up on panel. And I disagree with, but I do believe that people have a right to think whatever they think, whether I agree with them or not. And
right.
That goes just as much for the folks that that do that anti-cop stuff, and as the folks that are neo-Nazi or whatever. So I don't agree with them, but I think that they have a right to believe whatever they want. This just isn't the place for it.
Right.
And I'm sorry that ran Des off. Let's see.
Is that what scared Des off to, or is she down basement still?
I just saw the rest of his thing, and I will agree that I'm not pro-fascist. I'm not pro-communist. I think that personally, my own beliefs and that type of thing are just that we should be able to, live in peace with one another. And that's which is one of the reasons why I have difficulties with even some of our government. We've got the best government out there. I'm very pro USA, but that being said, some people tend to be very fascist, I guess. And while that may be associated with one party more than the other, I see it in both. And so I don't agree with that stuff. And so
did Daz leave the chat completely, or is she in the basement still?
She gone.
Yeah, that's why she left. Because I'm sure.
Oh, I know. She avoids certain topics like the plague.
Yeah.
And she's very, that's just Des. And she doesn't try to reason with folks like that. She doesn't try to discuss that, stuff. And I don't blame her. I tend to be a little different in my approach on things. But
yeah, it'd been one thing if he would have just came here and started talking about regular stuff, but he came in right away and started talking about
right. And this really isn't the format for that.
Nope.
I got nothing against, I don't care if somebody is what the color of their skin is, or whether they're a man or woman, or if they're, biologically a man and say they're a woman. I don't care. It's just like, it doesn't mean I necessarily think that way myself, but I respect the fact that they, people think the way they do. That's the beauty of living in America. You're welcome to think.
That's the world today.
That is the world.
Walter Cronkite can say that's the way it is.
That's right. So, it's just, this isn't the place for that. And I won't disagree that hey, that's a whole nother discussion I just ain't getting into.
Yeah.
Anyhow, Simon, you're gonna be there for another day hanging out with RXTX Randy and
yeah, tonight's my last night here, and then I fly out in the morning.
Okay. Spending your whole time basically over there at the cook-off?
Yeah.
Is Devil Dog come back to the cookout today too?
No, last night was his last night.
Oh.
We can get into the ground and stuff, but to get into the actual tent, you need one of these little passes, on your wrist.
And you have another one? I saw you cut that one off.
I prepaid for two because my buddy was coming with me, but he didn't make it. So then I figured I'll ask somebody, and I thought of Eddie because he lives here.
Yeah.
And Eddie was gonna be like only one night, but it turned out the other person couldn't make it. I had another person that was gonna come hang out with me.
Yeah.
So then Eddie ended up 2 nights. Well, also because I ordered stickers from Jamie, and he had to bring them to me. So I figured he's already on this side of town. Might as well just go to the rodeo.
Right.
There we go. Hey, I use Jamie for all my stuff. In fact, I need to order some more mugs from him. I'm thinking maybe tonight we'll just give away mugs or something. I don't know.
How much you live tonight?
Do I now?
How much you live?
Des was live last night. I wasn't live last night. I'll be live tonight.
Right. What time?
8:30 Central.
Yeah.
I always follow Devil Dog. Devil Dog goes at 7 and usually goes for an hour and a half, and then I follow him.
Yeah.
Have for 2 years, I guess, about. In fact, he used to start at 7:45 because he was following somebody else that I'm sure you've heard of. I won't mention their name here. I'll put it in private chat though. that is who he used to follow, and it's the person that got him into YouTube to
Okay.
begin.
Yeah, he told me about that yesterday when he first got to YouTube.
When, man, that guy is kind of off his rocker too. The
one you put in the private chat is?
yeah. In fact, we've looked. He actually, you can tell a lot. I don't know if y'all ever use Social Blade. But Social Blade,
Social Blade, yeah, I use Social Blade a lot. I check out things with it.
I mean, I checked myself out before on Social Blade, and it doesn't seem very accurate though.
It's got its
It's a little behind on numbers
on some of them, yeah, but it's basically the numbers are fairly close. One of the things that, and I think Devil Dog is the first person who told me about Social Blade. I mean, I hadn't done much in the way of YouTube and what have you, but some things I can tell you pretty accurately is you can look at somebody's Social Blade, and a lot of times it will tell you, you can find out whether or not they're buying subs, so to speak, because people do that. It's not my gig, and I've never paid for one, never will.
Hold on, how do you tell me how you can tell they're buying them?
All right. Well, I'll tell you what.
I just want just curious on how you think they're buying them.
Well, I'll show you. Hang on. You can. Let's see.
Hey, Gary, I'm only going to be on for a little bit more because I need to go charge my phone.
All right. I thank you for coming up,
Yeah.
Simon. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah. So you see me go the type. So.
Let me see if this is the right one. That ain't it.
The reason I asked that, Gary, is because I've been accused of it. I've never have, but I've been accused of I bought them because I went into the Filipino community and was chatting in there, and huh?
That's not buying.
No, I know that's not. But that people, I jumped up like 100 over a weekend.
Yeah.
And somebody accused me of buying them, and I went like, "Well, no, I didn't buy them. I didn't pay nothing for them, and I didn't even ask for them."
Well,
Yeah.
I guess I think of on my first week I had over 100 subscribers, but that's all the guys from the barbecue community and all those people that follow those channels. Is like they subscribe to me.
Right.
All right. I'm not seeing one at this moment, but typically, and it's going to kind of vary, but the main thing is you look at it, and 1 week it'll be 100, next 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 week it'll be 100. And it's fairly evenly spaced,
Right.
and you can look at it and tell that this is on his payday or something to that effect, and they may slow down once they get, to a certain point, and just keep watching them. You'll see it. In my opinion, that's a clear indicator that individual is buying subs. Another thing, typically when you see a big jump in somebody's, look for something that came out during that time frame. If they've got one that just had a huge jump, then it's kind of obvious that's legit. I had somebody, I have never paid for a single one. I have friends that are in the Filipino community, and and I think one of them at one point did quite a bit. But I've also had, from what and I won't mention any names, I think it's somebody that most of us know that has got together trying to do something for thinking they're trying to help somebody out and made arrangements for people to join. And I've seen that. I've seen that on one person in particular that I'm thinking. I'm not going to mention any names. I don't want to point any fingers or anything like that. It's somebody that I think most of us know, but it's not really around a whole lot these days. Anyhow,
All right, Gary.
the,
Be in the chat. I'll be going now. I'll be in the chat.
thanks, Simon.
Okay.
Appreciate it. That's not the way I want to build mine, though. I don't want to, I don't care that much, first of all, about, hang on, I don't care that much, first of all, about whether or not I get a bunch of subscribers or not. The subscriber count is irrelevant to me, other than the fact that I don't want to watch a huge channels. My whole goal in this, in YouTubing, is just to make friends and talk with folks. And those huge channels typically are not people that want to, are not people that want to
Watch and
have
talk.
conversations. Do I
Right.
know?
Watch and talk to you. Hey, I put something in the private chat. Check that. Come and look at that and let me know what you think.
Yes.
Shh.
Let me check out that. I think I've looked at the one that you're talking about. That's not what that does not look like what I would expect from somebody paying for subs. It just
Yeah. You have to go back farther because I looked at it. It only goes back to February the 11th, so you have to go before that.
yeah.
And I don't know how you go and check the earlier dates.
It's possible if you go back further, but from what I'm seeing right now, it's not.
Yeah, how do you? Is there a way to go back further on there?
Not that I know of.
Yeah. Well,
But
that one they got 660 subscribers in one day,
yeah,
and that seemed like
Well,
an awful lot of subscribers in one day.
yeah. But I mean, I don't know. It seems like the bigger you are, the bigger your channel, the more they put you out, the more they share you. So, I mean, it's easier once you've got 1,000 subscribers to get to 2,000. It's easier when you're at 2,000 to get to 4,000. It's just, they do tend to, and from their perspective, the reason why they do that, it makes perfect sense. They do go through and they categorize, videos and live streams and all these other things. But, you think about how many users there are on YouTube.
Right. There's
Millions.
their priority,
right. And their priority is obviously going to be the larger channels, because those are the ones that, more people watch. Those are the ones that eat up viewing time from viewers, which is, means more advertising revenue. So,
right.
it makes perfect sense. It's just like, hey, Gary, good to see you, Kentucky Prepper. It makes perfect sense. When they start fighting, I unsubscribe. There we go. I don't, I know several people that have their whole channel is based on drama. I don't, and that drives views. There's no question that drives views. If you look at,
But you don't have to like it.
Yeah, I don't spend much time in those. Every now and then I'll go in and say hello. But I don't spend, that's not the stuff that I find interesting. That's not the stuff that, I want to spend my time.
Hey, Kentucky Prepper 5, how are you?
So anyhow, but it makes perfect sense why it makes it easier. Well, she got upset because I let somebody on panel. I probably shouldn't have, but I try to give people the benefit of the doubt, and I was going to give him a chance to come up and.
It was a hater.
Well, you have to think that people that feel that way have had, people don't come to stuff like that on their own.
No, they don't. They're taught to be
raised.
like that, or they've been raised to be like that.
That's right. And so, I tried to be understanding of why people are the way they are. And it's one of the reasons why it's led me to the belief that my brothers have done very well for themselves. Sisters, she was raised a little differently than we were because, she was really the second group of kids. But, when me and my brothers were, kids, we were just dirt poor. And it's driven them, I think, to succeed and do well. And it's driven me just to not care. I realize that I do realize that it takes money to live in this world, but as long as my bills are paid, I'm going to live fairly cheaply. And so it does allow me.
Cheaply is not the right word. You need frugal.
Frugally. Yeah, I would agree with that. As inexpensively as I can. And so, I try to make smart decisions. But, even then, I do without a lot of things. There's a lot of things I need to do that I just haven't done just because of the fact I can't afford them. And that's no different than anybody else. But, I guess I've given away a lot of money,
Yep.
but that's,
I know.
and so it's,
I've been on the receiving side where you've given money away on those Fridays and stuff. I've been lucky.
And, anyhow, money is not my God by any shape, form, or fashion. It's not the most important thing in the world. You can be rich and not, in a lot of ways, and you can still be considered rich and not have much money. So that's my perspective.
Yeah.
I don't.
All the money that you sent me, I've just invested it back in pin parts.
Glad to hear it.
It's just gone right back into pin parts. Everything is there. I've exchanged anything I sold on pins. It's just bought more materials for me.
There we go. Well, that's a smart move. When I used to deal in baseball cards, I would go through, when I used to collect baseball cards, I would make sure I made a profit on every transaction, and the profit, gained me more. I put that back into baseball cards. Yeah. I went from not having a single card. Within 6 months, I had over 100,000 cards. So it was just, working the angles or trying to find a way to do it effectively, cost effectively. And so anyhow, I have a tendency to, I've said this many times and I will say it again. I tend to be a little obsessive compulsive tendencies, have obsessive compulsive tendencies. And so I'm always looking at different ways of doing things. They're not always the most effective, granted, but when I learn the most effective, then I tend to try and adapt that if I can.
Yep.
So, just limitations, that type of thing.
Well, Susan's home now, and I hate to just leave you, but we're gonna go out and do something on the farm. Pull some trees out, clean up some trees or something.
All right. Well, I've been live 2.5 hours. I wasn't even planning on going live before tonight. I will be live tonight. If people get a while here, they're welcome to join.
And I'll see you then.
And that'll be on my Belt Loop 29 channel. Obviously, right now we're on YouTube, please.
Yep. And I'll see you this evening. You and Devil Dog both.
I appreciate that, Jerry.
All right. I'll talk to you later. Have a nice day.
All right.
All right. Bye.
We'll see you then, Jerry. And let me say thank you to Virginia, Alexander, Kentucky Prepper. And let's see, Budget Preppers, Natasha, Let's see who else. Terry, Madwood, Madwood Barbecue, P Digits, Templin Acres. See if I'm missing anybody. Molly, Pest Hunters Pest Catch, Moon Over Miami. Yes, I Can Barbecue. Thank you all for coming in. Thank you all for being a part of it. I'm running back up to see if I missed anybody. I think I hit there. I said, thank you to everybody. Najuma Brown, good to see you. Mama, thank you for coming in. Hope you're all blessed today, and do something for somebody. Be the person that people will miss when you're gone. God bless y'all. We go in 3, 2,